Many years ago, Muslim scientists were interested in finding the origin of minerals, rocks, mountains, earthquakes, etc. Sina has a leading contribution in his famous Encyclopedia of Philosophy and Natural Science and presented a complete coverage of knowledge on what happens on Earth in 6 chapters. Firstly, the formation of rocks and stones. Avicenna established 3 origins for the formation of stones and rocks, which is water, mud, and fire. Presently, these origins are known as sedimentary and igneous. Avicenna did not know the third metamorphic origin because it was only known after the advent of the microscope in Europe. Regarding fossils, which were found within stones, Avicenna gave an explicit explanation of their origin from the purification of plants and animals by mineralizing to the purifying virtue within stones. Secondly, the formation of mountains and cliffs. Avicenna went on to describe the process of uplift and erosion in the formation of mountains after the formation of stones and rock sequences. Avicenna then summarizes his views on the origin of mountains, outlining the fundamental principle of superposition of strata, which later in the history of geology became the law of superposition of strata by Nicolas Steno in the 17th century.
Ibn al-Nafis, discoverer of the blood circulation. The surgeon. Al-Nafis was an Arab physician born in Damascus 1213. He had his medical education at the Medical College Hospital in Damascus. At the age of 23, he moved to Cairo and worked at the Al-Nasri Hospital, where he became physician-in-chief. He worked on an enormous textbook, the Comprehensive Book of Medicine. The book was never completed, but it was believed to be the largest medical encyclopedia at the time. At the age of 29, he published his most important work, the Commentary on Anatomy in Avicenna's Canon. The Commentary of Anatomy in Avicenna's Canon is a manuscript written in the 13th century by Al-Nafis. It contains the earliest descriptions of the coronary circulation and the pulmonary circulation systems. Many scholars up until today still make reference to this book. The commentary from the book. Blood from the right chamber of the heart to the left chamber does not come through direct pathway. The interventricular septum does not have visible or invisible pores. The lungs are composed of parts, one of which is the bronchi, the second the branches of the arteria venosa, and the third the branches of the vena arteriosa, all of them connected by loose porous flesh. Blood from the right chamber of the heart goes to vena arteriosa, the lungs, the arteria venosa, and the left chamber. In his statement that the blood that is in the right side nourishes the heart is not true at all, for nourishment of the heart is actually from the blood that goes through the vessels that permeate the body of the heart. This particular passage put forward the concept of coronary circulation.
Ibn Sina, the medical researcher. Ibn Sina made important contribution to the disciplines of physics, optics, philosophy, and medicine. He wrote the Canon of Medicine, a text used to teach student doctors in Europe until the 1600s. What is the most importance of Ibn Sina in science? He is the one of the most famous and influential scientists in the history of medicine. The Canon of Medicine, which is his most celebrated book in medicine, presents a summary of all the medicine knowledge of his time. Avicenna wrote a complete section about kidney calculi in his book. He also identified that the nerve cells are responsible for transmitting pain signals, and his detailed observations of disease vectors, including soil, air, touch, and sex, influenced the future direction of the medical profession. Cinna originated the idea of the use of oral anesthetic. The Arab invented the soporific sponge, which was used the precursor of modern anesthesia. Cinna is better known in Europe by the Latinized name Avicenna. He is probably the most significant philosopher in the Islamic tradition, arguably the most influential philosopher of the pre-modern era.